I was born a technical writer because when my dad bought this Commodore 64, I always used to go downstairs to the computer and write for the whole family to use every single software on all those floppy disks.
Hello, and welcome again to the Pathways podcast, where we explore different careers in the Quebec City Region. I'm your host, Susanna Tang, from Voice of English-Speaking Quebec. Today, I'll be speaking with Johanne Lavallée about her experience working as a technical writer. Johanne has been working as a technical writer since 1997. Presently, she works for Vermac, the company that makes those verbal message signs with the orange lights next to highways and construction sites. All right, let's kick it off with, what is a technical writer?
A technical writer is a person in charge of writing technical documentation for customers about product designed and manufactured by a company. In Quebec, it's typically in English and French. I like to say that I'm a journalist for engineers. We typically work in the research and development department. An engineer will put this new toy on my desk, so I get to try it. And then, just like a journalist, I will ask the engineer for an interview after looking at this new toy. And then I ask the engineer questions until I have all the information necessary to explain in writing or using video how to use the new product. For a software, then you can get to take screenshots. And for physical products, you can take pictures or ask computer-aided design technician to explode views for you as visual support.
So technical writers are the ones creating a variety of online and print documents. Things like user manuals, training materials, online chatbots, and instructional videos. Next, I asked her how she got her start.
I studied electronics in Ontario, and I applied for a job as a microcontroller programmer at Microtech, an alarm company. And when they discovered I was good in both languages, they sent me a Microtech Internet to write up their internet guide for each software tool, such as email, which was Eudora back then, internet browser, was Netscape, a chat tool called IRC, and many more. I never wrote one line of code for that company. I ended up writing doc full-time.
Johanne's experience illustrates how important it is to be versatile, because you might be hired for one thing and end up doing something completely different. Now, let's check out what Johanne does on a typical day.
At Vermac, I do a lot of parts manual. The electric and mechanical designers send me a bunch of views of the product in the form of a PDF file. I have them corrected if needed, and then I make a manual out of them for customers when they need to buy parts or fix something. I have this web app, Jira, in which I plan my month. I pick a task, I slide it in the in progress column and attack it. I also do a lot of updates. This is where I become the journalist, and then I get an interview with the engineer to see what has changed. If I know some of the material, I'll simply ask where he put his specifications. And sometimes I need to write how to set it up for operation even before the prototype is physically finished. Most of the time, they have a 3D build of the design. So I use this 3D, move it around, look at the product. So the 3D is very useful. What you need to know is that now we try to have the information really close to where the customer is. So we set up stickers directly on the message sign. I design those stickers, and the material is heat-proof, salt-proof, oil-proof, because it is on a road or on a highway curb.
And what about bear-proof? I'll let Johanne explain.
If you go to the Vermac site, the news section, and scroll back to January 2019, you will see one of the news has a picture of a grizzly bear on one of our message signs. It's probably because of the salt accumulated on the trailer.
So it's almost like an outline of the bear? Is that what you mean?
No, you see the bear on the sign.
Huh?
Yeah. It's right on the sign.
To see that bear picture for yourself, go to the Vermac website. Moving along, I asked Johanne, how many products does she write about? As you were talking too, I was wondering, because you're talking about new prototypes, and how many products are available?
maybe 40, 50 types of products. We also make light towers, all kinds of products that work with solar panels. So now I have about 400 manuals.
Oh my goodness.
That's because of technology, because 20 years ago, you'd have 10 people for 400 manuals. Now I'm a single writer.
But you did tell me that you think it's a job that's kind of growing. So how can that be if you said that there were so many of you and now there's only one of you? So is it growing?
The reason that I think that there will be more jobs in technical writing in the future is that user experience and customer experience is becoming important, and we're the first users in R&D, in research and development department. We're the first ones to try this. We're already aware of what the customer is living. So when the marketing team is trying to figure out angles, we can collaborate with them. We're the wordsmiths because we are the ones who will be feeding the answer buts. When you see that little bot at the bottom of your screen pop up, the answers that it gives must be well written. They need a certain way to be written so that the bot can get the right answer to the customer. It's like a formula.
That's why you see it as not just like the industrial companies necessarily needing technical writers. Now we're moving into, whatever industry, insurance. They have all kind of bots now.
Oh, yeah. This profession is becoming more and more important because more and more companies realize that they need technical writers, especially in Quebec. It was not a trade that was really well known. Now I can see more and more positions being offered in technical writing, technical communicating.
So next, we talk about what training is required.
People who want to do this, though, they need to be people who are ready to learn programming languages for websites. It's not everybody that goes into writing that wants to become a programmer. This whole side of the work, user experience, UX, is taught at Laval University. Also, there is the Society for Technical Communication that offers a course in order to become a certified technical communicator. In Quebec, technical writers are linguists who developed an interest for technical writing. Less common, we see people with a technical background like me. Then you need to be really good with words. Most sales go to the United States, so American English is the language most frequently used. You can also take the English test at Laval, the Versa English Ep14, to find out your level of English and improve it if need be. I got 199 out of 200 in that test just to have this paper that proves my level. Laval recommended to take the last level of the English course, Advanced Literature, and I took it. It actually really helped me because I had preconceived ideas about literature. I didn't think it would help me that much. And the course was so fun. And we did a lot of presentations. I even did a presentation about the importance of the comma. Lawsuits that cost like hundreds of thousands of dollars because of a missing comma in a legal text.
Let that be a lesson for us all. Remember your commas. And speaking of English, how often do you use English at work?
A lot in writing, some spoken, but most of the time it's in writing. That's probably why there's a lot of introverts in technical writing, because it's a good place to be. If you're an introvert, you're at your desk and you write. You don't need to be a, extrovert leadership person to do this job. You get to talk to engineers who are also mostly introverts. So you're in the right gang.
Good point. Seek out jobs that are more suited to your personality. Next, I wanted to know, what are the ingredients for a really good piece of technical writing?
People would think that you write a lot of sentences, but it has to be as short as possible. Subject, verb, complement, and that's it. You need to be good at cutting down as much as you can. Make the look easy to read quickly. It's not a novel. People open this book, they want to look at page 7, paragraph 3. And this is what you have to keep in mind. You need to find a subject quickly because people don't have time to read your whole manual.
Okay, keep it short, direct, simple, I guess.
Yes.
So what if you're a creative writer? Is this not the type of job that you want then?
Maybe, yeah, because, for example, I love the environment, and I always considered working as a technical writer in an environment. And then I met this biologist, and she told me, you don't want to do that because you'll be writing impact studies, and that's depressing. So, okay, I'm going to keep writing technical stuff and maybe do some volunteering in environment. And I felt my life complete that way.
Absolutely. You can pursue your passion through volunteering. Be sure to check out the Wellness Center or Je Bénévole for volunteer opportunities. Switching gears, what does Johanne find difficult about her work?
It's difficult to get to the perfect level of learning about your subject in order to be able to explain it perfectly. I start writing and then I realize I don't understand well enough yet to write this part. So I have to go back. And this takes years, and it's okay because people review you, and most of the time you get it right. But after a few years, you know exactly what type of questions you need to ask. So you go back to your desk only once, you know. Also, I'm just starting to get used to it, is to live with the frustration of not understanding until you finally do. You have to start again every time because it's a new product, and it's tough because you're frustrated because you don't understand, and it's normal. So that's another part that's difficult about the job.
That's exactly why we need you, because you don't want the customer to feel that frustration.
Oh, yeah. And best way to get over that is to, give a course about it or explain it out loud to somebody else. I started doing conferences about subjects that were a little deeper that I was exploring for my own future, but you can't always do that. So what you do is you turn around to somebody else who doesn't know the product, try to explain the feature you're trying to describe, and when the eyes are starting to be less glazed, then you know you've done it right.
Students, that's a great study tip. To know if you've really learned something, teach it to someone else. Next up, what does she love about her job?
I really love my current job because I can explain what I do to anyone. Everybody sees our variable message signs on the highway saying that the Quebec Bridge is a better alternative than Ep14 because of road work. I love the social side of it. I don't have a brother, and working in R&D, which is made a majority of men, makes me get a ton of brothers. I have a boss, but I work for everybody because I get to talk to the engineers, to IT, to support, to marketing. I also help the quality control people. They do a lot of documentation. But the thing I love the most is how I can do a variety of things in one day. I can do Photoshop. I can work on that 3D design to grab a picture from my manual. And because I'm sick of being in front of my computer, I'll go in the yard and try on one of these big toys. I like winter. I go there even when it's minus 20s because the light is so awesome. I get to take all the nicest pictures of my products. And sometimes I even go straight to the production line, because I don't understand how you install a certain part. And it's fun to go talk to these guys. They're always in a good mood. They like to visit.
Final question. What advice do you have for high school students?
Because this job covers a lot of things, their general advice is to try all kinds of things, gain culture, travel, experience as much as you can before becoming adult. And I would add to that to do as many exchanges as you can. The students' exchanges to go to another province or country for a week or two. It's so intense and so nice. And not only you learn new words, but you learn a new culture. And when you need to learn a new language, you do need to think like the culture because it helps you understand the language. It comes together. So all this traveling will help you put your writing in context and concentrate on your studies. It's better to get a little experience during the summer when you're off school.
And that's all for this episode. Thank you again to our guest, Johanne Lavallée, for sharing her knowledge and experiences. We would also like to acknowledge the Government of Canada for funding this initiative. Join us next time for our talk with Crystal Cadwell, a heavy-duty mechanic. This is the Pathways Podcast. Signing off. Until next time.